Hey everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. Back for another Friday Reads. What's today's date? The 20-something of February? 4th? 5th? Don't know. End of February is coming up very quickly. This year has been a blur. And it took a while for me to feel more like myself again. So yeah, this week was a little more normal, which was nice. I did manage to finish 2 books, one an actual physical book, which is a shocker because it's not been the case for most of this year. But before getting to the 2 that I read, the song of the week this week is Daybreak by Michael Higgins, and I'm laughing because this is the song from Community. It's like the running gag for all 6 seasons. I just finished watching Community for the first time. I've been a fan of the show since the first episode aired live. I've faithful watcher until season 5, and then I think my life got kind of crazy and I just sort of fell off. So I never got around again to watching season 5 all the way through, and I never saw season 6. I've tried a couple times before, it hasn't worked out, but I just finally finished it a couple of days ago. So as my tribute to one of my favorite shows of all time, Community, enjoy Daybreak by Michael Higgins. The streets ahead. Okay, so the 2 that I finished this week. Let's do the one that's I read mostly as an ebook first. This is A Kiss at Midnight by Eloisa James, the start to another one of her series. So I have started 2 series of hers almost at the same time. So this is the Fairy Tales series. Is that what this is? I don't know. So this one is very loosely set on Cinderella. And our main girl, I don't remember anything, it's terrible. Kate. Let's see. Okay, that's right. So Kate is the Cinderella character, for lack of a better way of explaining it shortly. Her father passed away. Her stepmother is very mean. She's a gold digger. And her one stepsister she has is very kind and fairly naive. She's not mean. She's just sort of clueless, very vain. And her stepmother tried to push her out of her family home, but she stayed on and sort of became a servant. She would help people in the town. She would work in the fields occasionally if she had to. She would make sure people's rents were reasonable for people that lived on their land, stuff like that. And when her stepsister gets engaged to someone higher up, he's not super high up, but he has a title, and he's an idiot. Something happens, one of her dogs bites her on her lip and she has this bad infection, and essentially her stepmother tells Kate, our main person here, that she has to go to this weekend ball with the prince, who is related to her sister's fiance. So she has to go and pretend to be her stepsister for this long weekend, this long country house weekend. She doesn't want to, but she's forced into it. And she meets the prince and she starts falling for him, and she keeps saying that, no, I can't be attracted to him, but she is falling for him. He has an arranged marriage with a Russian princess. She is on her way to England. Currently it takes a long time, so this ball is supposed to be happening when his princess arrives finally. So it's this big party, and she's trying not to get found out, and she finds out that she has a godmother she didn't know about that was very good friends with her mother, who passed when she was much younger. And so there are a lot of Cinderella vibes in here, but it doesn't quite feel the same when you're reading it somehow. Reading the synopsis again just now and talking about it seems much more Cinderella-y than it actually felt, but this one was fine. I gave it 3 stars. Nothing fantastic here, nothing terrible here, just okay. I liked them both as people, I suppose, but I didn't love them at all, and I appreciated everyone's faults for what they were, and it was fine. So yeah, 3 stars. I'm reading the second one right now. I already owned an ebook copy of that as well. So that one is Beauty and the Beast themed, and it's reading a lot quicker than this one was. This was a little hard to get into for a while. I don't know why, but it just sort of was, and that was just me. So this was fine. Not in love with it. It was fine. And then another book that I finished. This is the actual, I read a physical book, and it's not small either. This is The Divorce Papers by Susan Rieger. This came out in 2014, and I know that because I was working at my library then when it came out. It was a new book, and I was so psyched to read it because it's epistolary. Not only that, but it's also got like, it's not just letters, it's emails, memorandums, there are legal documents in here, there are faxes in here, like, yeah. So, and I love stuff like this. This is very much my jam, like just this format in general. And I loved that it was this big chunky book that was also this big format. You know, I really was like, yes, yes, yes. I've checked this out 3 previous times, excuse me, and never could really get into it. This time I read the first half practically in a day, and then I sat in it for a while. And I'm picking it up again. I just finished it to finish it, quite frankly. So this, I think I rated this a 3 on Goodreads, but really it's more like a 2 or 2.5. So what's this about, Laura? We have Sophie. She's in her late 20s in a law firm in Massachusetts, in a smaller city. She's typically a criminal lawyer, and she's asked to pitch in and meet with a long-standing client's daughter who is getting a divorce. She's asked to pitch in and just meet this woman and like take her like initial statement, do like the very basic introductory appointment where she decides if she's going to hire them or not, you know, blah, blah, blah. So Sophie says, fine, she'll chip in and do this. And then the woman who's getting divorced, Mrs. Mather, she decides that she, Miss Michael John, she decides that she wants to hire Sophie, and Sophie says, I don't think you should. I'm not experienced in this. We have several people on staff that this is what they do all the time. I don't think you should hire me. She says, no, I like you. I want to retain you. I'll pay for you and a superior to look over your work just to make sure. I don't care. I want you to be my lawyer. So it gets worked out, and it's agreed upon that's what's going to happen. So you get most of this case from Sophie's point of view, where she's talking to her bosses about this back and forth over emails, and you see repercussions of conversations that have been had in person. You see everything that she sees from her client's point of view, and from then the ex's, soon-to-be ex's lawyers, and what the ex is like, psychology forums, blah, blah, blah. So you get through the whole divorce, along with seeing Sophie and her family and her love life and her friends and etc. I think the thing that knocks it down a lot for me is that it's just too long. I mean, it's 460 pages, I think, and it really didn't need to be that long. No, this is written by a lawyer. This is her first novel. She teaches law and also practiced law. So, I mean, kudos to her, because I don't know how I would, 460 pages. I don't know how I would do that this much anyways. So, it's not bad. It's just way too long. Like, we don't need to have photocopies like 5 or 6 times over of parts of the legal, like, law books for the state of Massachusetts with the parts highlighted that apply to this. You don't need to see every single legal brief that goes back and forth. This could have lost 100 pages and you wouldn't have missed anything, if not 150. So it's just too long. I did really enjoy the format, and it's also, I should say, it's also set in 1999, which explains why there's so much paperwork and like emails and things. One of the senior partners who's advising Sophie is not familiar with email yet. He still feels uncomfortable with it, which I could very much see being a thing for someone who is older and established doing things by telephone or over paper, you know, with physically or even faxing, you know. So that made more sense, and it explained why there is so much in here just because of the time. So I understand that too, but it just still felt like way too long. And some things were done, wrapped up. Some things were not so wrapped up. I don't know. It was fine. I would say if you like this kind of thing, check it out. I'm like literally check it out from your library. I don't want to deny Susan any kind of money here, but I don't know. I just, And from reading the things on Goodreads that people have written, a lot of people feel the same way. I mean, there were, of course, 4 and 5 stars, but a lot of it was just like, this is way too much. This is way too technical. So, you know, the stuff in here is at least primarily accurate, mostly accurate based on just the author's background, but just a little too much. So glad to have this one done finally, get it off of my mental list to check out and try again, and happy to be returning it to the library. So that's it for me this week. Work-wise, it was a little quiet, which was good. We had that big storm that came through the like upper US. Nancy or something, I don't know. Anyways, it was extremely icy, like half an inch to an inch of very slick ice on everything. So I stayed home on Tuesday, the day that it mostly hit. And Wednesday morning I had salted and everything else, and I was being cautious, but I got to the bottom of my steps in front and I still wiped out and fell. I landed on my hands and knees and I felt okay. Went to work, I had a client, it was a great client and everything, and then I think I just really sprained a lot of things is what it is. So like my whole left side hurts, my knee hurts, my big toe is terrible, so walking is not great. My wrist and my thumb kind of hurt. Like I didn't break anything, I think I just severely strained a lot of joints. So I'm kind of limping and taking it slow. Ugh. And I am now currently out of salt for everything, so oh well, right? That's fine. Coming up then also, I'm still working on book to prize books. I was able to renew everything that was originally due or had a hold list, so that's nice for me. I have 3 more weeks. Snow Falling on Cedars by David Guterson. That is the February title for DoubleBookedCo's book club this month. We have our live discussion about the book this coming Sunday at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time on DoubleBookedCo's YouTube channel. I am starting the book today. Today is Thursday. It's the afternoon. I know. I did not intend for this to happen, but oh well. So I'm going to be reading that the next couple of days. I'm also working on taxes for both of my businesses and getting that stuff wrapped up and, you know, all the other life stuff. So yeah, tax time, reading, trying to relax. It's all the whole thing, but everything's okay. I'm doing fine, just, you know, settling into my normal schedule again. So yeah, I hope I see you guys on Sunday at the live show. That would be wonderful. And if nothing else, I will probably see you on Tuesday. I'm just realizing March is next week and I need to film my TBR. Oh my God. Ooh. I better work on that now while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Take care and stay safe, everyone. I will talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.